Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're connecting from. I'm very excited to be here today, and this is another Morning Matters Friday, February 23rd. We have a special guest, but before I bring him on board, let me just go into the reason why we do this on Fridays. This is Morning Matters Show. It's a movement where we talk about financial literacy, financial discipline, and financial planning. This is God has called us to be able to, to be able to make money, manage, and multiply money. We have been called to be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, and dominate. And in order for us to be able to do all this, we need to be able to, make money, manage money, and multiply money. But beyond that, we talk about savings, how you can put something aside monthly or weekly, depending on how your income come in, through your savings. Savings is not right for you to leave your money in the bank, but your savings is what builds the investments that you can leverage on. So from your savings after being, put together can be used for other things. Investment, buying of real estate, life insurance, health insurance. You can use it to start up as your capital for any businesses of your choice. And beyond that, you can also find a way of getting your goods and services to the people who need them. It's a different thing you having a very good service, very good products, but if you don't know who needs them, where at the community your products and services will be needed, you could as well have them in your house and not even make any move. And so beyond that, we also talk about selling, tips on how you can sell, tips on how you can package, tips on branding, how you can get your products out to the people who need them. And so today we have a guest who will be telling us his story on how and his passion, what his passion led him to doing, and all the different things he's doing. A lot of times I use David in the Bible as an example. David was so skillful in all of his crafts. He was a priest, he's a singer, and much more. He was a warrior, he was a king, but in all of this, David was good in all of his calling. But before I bring in a guest, I want to just introduce myself. My name is Sandra Uko. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member, Coach, and Speaker. I'm also a best-selling author, a member of the Toastmasters as the Vice President of Public Relations, and also just recently got gifted the Presidential Lifetime Award. I'm excited to have our guest today. His name is Kunle Ologun. If it were here on Monday, you would have listened to his story, how he started, and what led him to where he got to. But we decided to break this other session that talks about his business, how and the lives he's touching right now. And that's it. The next person you get to see is Kunle himself. He'll be introducing himself and telling us what he's been up to, so we can glean from him.
Hi.
Good evening, sir. I'm
Good
excited to have you,
evening.
sir. Good
Same
evening.
here.
Thank you for
It's
making it.
good to be back.
Yeah, less than 4 days, 5 days. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Out of your busy schedules, you still made that time with us. And this is midnight in your side, but thank you so much. And that's the lifestyle of a leader. A leader, for everything you do, you think of the people first. You put the people first. How you can be a blessing to them. Today's show, we're here to glean from you. We're here to learn from you. We didn't talk about your career. We didn't talk about the businesses and everything you're doing, how your story, went into what you're doing presently. So we want to learn from you. So it will be more of you talking and less question, just to find out how you're doing them and where you're doing them, so we can learn from you. And so those also who wants to give towards the cause you're already doing, like you rightly said, beyond just praying for our country, you're doing you're taking some actions of, providing food for the people in Lagos and some communities around. So, and there might be a lot of people who want to support that cause and probably looking for a proper channel to send them money, and they want to see pictures and things. You probably be telling us something, some story around that, so that we can find a way to support that ministry too. Thank you so much. The floor is all yours, sir.
Thank you so much, Sandra. I don't know where to start now. Maybe I should take it from the career part, and then we drive it forward all the way to the foundation and where we are today.
Okay, sir.
So I'm going to take a step back. During my last call with you on Monday, I was talking about how I was working and studying at the same time, working as a security guard and studying. And then on completion of that studies, I had my MBA from the University of East London. So on completion of that, I then switched that security job today. And what I found is I was taking a lot of courses in London, like Prince 2, that is Project and Control Environment, and some other courses in project management. But the job was not forthcoming. But I was doing this security job, and this is a security job that I was doing that I lost interest at some point in that job, and it was like the whole world was coming down on me because I was not happy there anymore. And I'll give you a good example. A friend introduced me to a course, a project management course that I needed to do. And I went to take that course. And then on completion of the course, I will apply to to try and get a job. But what I found is a number of the recruiters, they will call me during the day. This security job is 12 hours shift, 7 to 7. I have to wake up early, 5 o'clock, get there, and finish around 7:30 in the evening. On my way home, I switch on my phone again, and I found out that there's been so many recruiters that has tried to call me to put my CV forward in front of the hiring manager, but they couldn't speak to me, and I was not available. And unfortunately, I have missed out on a number of those calls. And I was doing a security job where I was being rotated in front of house. The front of house is like a company where staffs comes in the morning from 8:39. I start helping them to open the turnstile. I had young ladies, greeting me in the morning, 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 morning. And when it's 3:34, they say to me, good night, good night, good night, see you tomorrow. I was still standing there. And I knew that that was not supposed to be me. And then at some point, I'll be moved into another part of that security job, loading bay, where you have so many goods, deliveries coming through and recording them. And there was this day, a young lady came to me, it's one of the staffs, said, I'm expecting a delivery. I said, okay, what delivery? Said, this is my name. Once it arrives, just call me. And then not too long she left, I got a call from the front of house, the security entrance, the gate, that the delivery is for coming in. Am I expecting anything in that name? I said, yeah, they should lay it in. And eventually it was a truck carrying a Lamborghini coming in. And
Wow.
eventually, I took the delivery of that Lamborghini. It was carried, it's never been driven before. Carried from the back of the truck and just dropped in the loading bay. And I called the lady, and she was jumpy, coming to pick up, her car that has just been delivered. And when she came, I said to her, oh my God, this is beautiful. This must have cost fortune. She said, no, no, no. It's just part of my bonus. That I just used to buy it. It's a gift. So she's a trader apparently in the bank, and she just traded, and she got just around £1 million, and she just decided to treat herself like to 250K worth of Lamborghini in pounds. And
Wow.
she left. She drove the car. She was driving. She called her friends, and they were driving. And you know what? I sat back in that loading bay office, and I was thinking, this was me. I was on £1,200 a month, and I said, I'm in the wrong job. And this is not me. So, long story short, I mean, at some point, I knew that if I continued that security job, I would not be able to pursue my career. I
Yes, it
had
was
to take,
obvious.
I had to take a stand. It's a strong decision, and this message goes to everyone that might be listening to me. Sometimes a door needs to shut before another one opens. I'm telling you, I would rather suffer in 3 to 6 months and enjoy the rest of my life than to suffer for the rest of my life.
True.
That was the decision I took. And I go home the following day. I did not go back to that security job again. I was at home and I was called from the office. They called me Tango 05. on the radio. So, I still remember very well. And they called me, Tango 05, where's your location? I said, what do you mean? You should be at work now. You are not in position. I said, what position are you talking about? Can you stop calling me? And then that was control room. They said, oh, you will have to face disciplinary and all that. And eventually, on that day, I knew that I needed to take a hard decision on my life, on my career, on everything. Because I've had guys working in the security job that they've been there for a long time. Some of them will say to me that they just want to work for 6 months to 1 year or 2 years, and they've been there for 17 years or
Ah,
18 years. Yeah, they are stuck. Yeah, it could be like a disaster where you will be scared of your bills, but you will be stuck with the job you are not happy with going every day. And knowing well that at some point that money is never going to be enough for you again. So £1,200 after tax. I've got so many bills. Sometimes I'm in debt after I get paid. So I took a hard decision. I was not going anymore. And then they called me into the office in central London for disciplinary. Already I went with their uniform and their boot and their ID card. And I said, there's nothing to discuss here. I have come to give you my resignation letter and my uniform. And the manager said, what? What are you talking about? I said, please, can you stop calling me? And the guy was so full of himself. A white guy said to me that, what I'll make sure that you're disciplined. I said, no, I'm walking away from you. The word I use is you are a distraction to my journey, to my career. And
wow.
he looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, you are distracting me. I have just paid £15,000 for an MBA. I want to get a good job. I'm a university graduate from Nigeria. This is not what I've come to the UK to do. And the guy looked at me and said, oh, okay, come and sit down. Come. Is there anything we can do better? I said, there is no feedback. You're just distracting me. I am not in the right job. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So I needed to walk away from you so that I can focus on what I want to do next. And that was how I handed over all their uniform and then went away. And I knew quite well that it was either I get a professional job or nothing at that point. And I took it as after my life in the UK, the next is that career path. I will wake up in the morning, have my bath. By 8:39, I will sit on the computer. I'm firing applications. As I'm applying for jobs, my phone is next to me. The recruiters are calling me. Hi, oh, we've just seen your application. Is this a good time? Yes, go for it. It's a good time. Oh, we like your CV. Can you talk me through a bit about your experience? Can I put your CV forward? I'm going to send you an email now. Please just reply with the representation email, right, to represent that. I'm happy for you to put my CV forward and represent me for this role. And I look forward to your positive feedback. That's all they need. Once you send that back, they will then ping that CV to the hiring manager who has requested for a candidate for that role. 2-3 days later, I get calls. Oh, you got an interview. Remember the role I put you forward for 2 days ago? Yes. I've got a good news for you. The hiring manager would like to see you for an interview. And these are professional jobs. So that was when I knew that, yes, it looks like I'm in the right place. Something good is happening. So I was so focused on this. And at that point, I had friends, some families criticizing me that maybe I want to get benefit in the UK. I'm so lazy. I'm not serious about life. I was doing a job that was fetching me that kind of money in 1,200, 1,300, and I walked away. That they've never seen anything like that before. At least I will get one before I walk away. So I don't talk. When I want to do something, my sister, I've taken some crazy decisions in life. That,
Yeah.
and as I said to you the last time, everything I touch has turned to gold. Glory be to God. So, long story short, I started applying. It took time. I was attending
So before you
interviews.
go into that,
Mm,
one thing that rang to me was that when you spoke about recruiters trying to reach you and not never able to reach you.
Yeah,
If you had continued that job, you would never be able to break out from that job
of
because
course.
there's no way they would ever reach you.
Of
Because
course.
recruiters will not call you a dead late in the night. They will
Exactly.
only call you during official hours.
Yeah.
And as long as your phone remains off,
Yeah.
no recruiter will be able to reach you.
Yeah. And when you get into the security job by 7 a.m., you must switch off your phone and put it in the locker.
Don't you have days you're off work that you can always tell
Ah,
recruiters to reach out to you?
and my sister, that job is like you do 7 days on, like 2 days off, 7 days on again, maybe 3 days off. It could fall on a weekend when you are off.
Oh, and the recruiter couldn't call you on weekend.
It's not just gonna work.
Oh,
And you know what? There are so many people in my situation that I'm talking about today worldwide. And wherever place they may be hearing me, they may need to take a decision about their lives. Trust me. I took that decision. I started applying for roles, and I attended so many interviews. And lo and behold, I attended this one on that day. It was a professional. It was a bank in the UK, Lloyd's Banking Group, and I finished that interview. At the time I stepped out from that room, I got a call from the recruiter that they like me and they would like to offer me the role. And that was how I moved on to a new career in PMO, project management in London. And at that time, the first salary was 34K for me. Now, that if I start story of how that came about, I'm not gonna. I don't want to go into too much of that
but
because
give
so
us a
much of that
brief
was.
synopsis of how you got into it.
Um, was called for an interview. It was a strange interview that I was called for. So, to put things into perspective, a PMO in the UK stands for Program Management Office. You can either be a PMO analyst or lead or manager and all that. You can rise to so many ranks. So, what they do, their responsibilities are things like supporting project managers on a daily basis to make sure the project managers follow the right governance processes in delivering their project. So you are like a gatekeeper for best practices when you're supporting a program within the office of that program management, and you make sure the program managers use the right project documentation to deliver their project. So I was shortlisted for that interview, and I went in and I was surprised to see that the Lloyds Banking Group came for a mass recruitment. And in that mass recruitment, we will probably be about 30 of us sitting in that room. And there were about four different staffs from Lloyds Bank that came in. And they just welcomed us, every one of us, gave us pen and paper and said to us that there is a new the way they want to approach this is going to be different. They just want to see how we can work in a team. And I said, okay, that's interesting. That's not a PMO. And the next thing they said to me is, to us is there is a new product development within the bank that they would like to launch, and that the business they're not sure of how to go about it. Can we come up with a new product development cycle and all that? And that was the question. And then I had this guy, a Shanghai, stood up, went to the, to pick the pen on the board and was scribbling and was saying, this is, and I was already writing all the steps that I think we need to follow. And the guy was just saying all sort of things. And at some point, I just interject and I said, can I say something? I don't think we're following the right steps here. Can I take control of that? Can I pick up that? So yeah, sure, sure. I stood up and I picked up the pen and I went to the board and I said, I think when you're looking at a new product development, there has to be first thing to ask yourself, what is the problem with the existing product? Is it that the product is no longer fit for purpose due to competitive, you know, disadvantage to the business? Is it because of regulatory requirement? Is it because you just want to come up with a new product that can be fit for purpose for your customers? And after you have come up with a problem, you start thinking of designing the solution. In the process of building the solution, you engage with the users to capture UAT, users acceptance testing. And from there, you start coming up with your, results, which is, I just came up with all of those steps, and I was putting that on the board. And then everyone said, "Oh, you're making sense." Oh, you're making sense. And the next thing is, I just got one of the staff's ladies said to me, "Sorry, can we see you in the next room?" And they just took me out from among everyone. And then I went to the next room, and the lady said, "Yeah, they like me. That are you a business analyst or a PMO?" And I said, "My CV states PMO, but I have experience around both." And that was how she said, "Okay." They will get in touch with me, and they said I can leave now. And that was how I stepped out.
And the
And
rest
before
were there?
they were there, yeah.
Oh,
Before I go home, I got a call from the recruiter that they would like to offer me the role, and it was 34K per annum. And then I was just crying in the room. I knelt and I was jumping. I said, "God, I worship you. Thank you, Jesus. I'm going to be."
34K per annum?
Yes, at that
And
time,
the other one you
34,000.
were receiving one too.
1,200, which was around 12K or 14K or thereabout, or 15K
Annum.
per annum. And this was the lowest, and that was just the beginning. So I started that role. I was there for 2 years. Oh my God, I learned a lot. And then after that, I started contracting in the UK. I just applied to another role with Royal Bank of Scotland after 2 years, and they just got to call me and they said, "Okay, we will pay you £500 a day." And that was the
Ah,
beginning. Oh my
Jesus.
God, I saw money.
Oh my God, 500. That means if you work Saturday, Sunday?
No, Monday to Friday. Every Friday I get paid £2,500.
Wow.
That was the beginning. At some point I was having over 200K in my account. Like I did that for some time. Eventually I moved away again. I saw another, more senior role. I moved from Royal Bank of Scotland to Santander. I was on 650, 700 a day. And then at some point from Royal Bank Santander, I'm a financial crime expert. I specialize in financial crime for a program office as well. So I was moving so quick because I learned so quick, and I was studying. I will come home, I will read exhaustively, I will research. I want to be the best at what I was doing. And eventually from there got to HSBC as one of the directors on £1,000 a day for many, many months, years, and then currently with Barclays as a program director as well now.
Ah, awesome. Just by one obedience. Oh my God. That's
Yes, God has been
how
really,
God
really good.
changes a man.
Yeah,
The Bible
yeah,
says God picks a man from the dunghill and
yeah,
place him among princes and kings.
yeah, 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 yeah,
From being a security man, your
yeah,
friends must have mocked you. That's not
yeah,
serious. How can you leave that job?
yeah,
Sometimes, and what you really said is true. A door must be shut for another better and effectual door to be open. And it says it's like when you're holding something. If you don't release your hands and release what you are, nothing else can come into that hand,
yeah,
that fisted hand. So, and that's why we must make decisions. Some decisions are very difficult decisions we need to take.
yeah,
To cost you something. For some days, I guess, for a number of days you were at home.
yeah.
How are you paying your bills?
At that time, that's a really good question. At that time, I was struggling with finances. My older brother was here in the UK. He will support me with some of the rent. I reduced all my expenses. I wasn't going out anymore. No need for travel card, which was costing money before getting on the train, buses and all that. No need for that. So I was constantly at home. But my brother was supporting me, and also at that time I switched my status in the UK as well. And that helped in such a way that not that I was getting housing benefit, but I was not too long. I was put on that housing waiting list at that time. Remember, I said it on Monday on the call, and all of those come together at that period to work in my favor. And that's it, probably little. Yeah, I expended some overdraft. I had credit cards between that period. I was at home as well. But once I got to start working, all of those were just things of the past. And I mean, there's no way in this world that you can be doing, apart from the fact that you're not earning good money, you are spending such huge amount of time at work. And when you eventually get married, you won't be able to see your kids, your family, and you are not earning so much that can look after them. So there's so much I was thinking that this is not going to work for me for a long time. And this is not what I want to do. So one key thing is I put so much effort into what I wanted to learn. I was not looking at the money. I want to be the best at it because everywhere I go, everywhere I speak, people listen. They know that I know what I was saying up till today. So everywhere in the world, I meet with top directors across US, Canada. We get on the call, and when I speak, they know that I know what I'm talking about. I've set up the program office from scratch for these top banks in the UK. I've created all the key governance processes. I've done everything you can think of from top to bottom. Nothing anyone can bring again that will scare one away.
Yes.
So they just like walk in the park for me now.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's basically based on your career.
Yeah.
And that's how far God has taken you. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
sorry
and
to interrupt you. Okay, go on. Sorry. I don't want you to forget what you want to say.
no, okay. What I wanted to say is talking about, not just landing a good job, but being, everything in that job, learning all the skills and getting skilled up. Sometimes some of us get into a job as a director and we just relax and
Oh,
forget the
yeah.
reason for which we're there. Because you know what? Competition and new ideas, new strategies of doing things. Once they see that you are still in the old way, they'll bring somebody over you to come and
Yeah.
talk or direct you. You now
Yeah.
start reporting to a new director. But when
Yeah.
they see that you're growing, they would move you to the next role and
Yeah.
bring somebody to take up your role. That's awesome. That's great to know. So you've just taught me something. Don't get so complacent. Don't get comfortable
Never.
in a
Yeah.
particular role. As soon as you get there, start getting skilled up to move
Yeah.
to the next level.
Yeah. You have
And
to
not
improve
spending
yourself.
time on that job, but looking for, because the more you move, the higher you go.
Yeah. I agree with you.
So because I
Definitely.
have people who tell you they're loyalists. They stay in a place for 20 years, 30 years. What would you say about such jobs, about such people? Is it that they're afraid to take risk or they're just comfortable?
I think they will be defined as a mediocre. They've chosen to settle for less, and they don't want to challenge themselves. I don't like hearing things like that. The years of experience I've moved from these banks around, I have learned to use so many tools. If not for the fact that I've been moving around, I would not have been exposed to all of those
No,
tools.
that's true.
So if you're in one place, you will have probably been outdated and you will not know that. Do you know what? I'm telling you this till probably a week ago. I still attend interviews as I'm speaking to you. I just play around with it. I don't prepare for interviews anymore. But when I speak to recruiters now, I will be shocked and stunned with their response, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, we don't know about that. We are taking that away." Actually, the directors I'm talking about here, because they've been in one place for too long and they don't know the new tools that are now being used across various organizations, the Cadence, the Clarity, the Jira, all of these good PPM
That's true.
tools that will have been useful for them. And when I then say to them, these are the things I'm going to bring on board when I come, and they see you as a superstar. So it's always important for you to improve yourself and do not be complacent. Wherever place you are working, I've seen permanent staffs that they make redundant
Yes,
several
and when they're
times.
looking for people to lay off, you're the first set of people.
Yeah,
First
because
in, first out.
you're not having any value anymore. Anyone else can do that job better than you. But when they know that you're irreplaceable, they will want to keep you,
Yeah.
irrespective of how much you say you want to earn. I have dictated. When you are on top of your game, I've attended interviews. There was a day I attended 6 interviews. I was sent to the last one. It was a company called John Lewis in London, a director. And I was saying to him that at some point he asked me a question and he hit the desk and said, I'm sorry, I will use this word, shit. Is there anything you don't know? I said, no, I'm still learning. And then at the end of the interview, and I was saying to him that you've got to take a decision because there is a chance that I will receive some offers today. If you don't take the decision now, I will decline if you take it.
You are the one calling the shots.
And trust me, it's not a pride. And I stepped out, and eventually I got 2 offers from other ones I have attended. And I wasn't sure what to even do. By the time I go home, I was thinking, oh my God, I need to think which one is paying more, which one is going to give me more job security or distance to my house and the flexibility and things like that. And then the following day, I got a call from the recruiter who was so excited. Oh, how was the interview yesterday with John Lewis? I said, hey, it went well. I said, oh, do you know what? The hiring manager would like to offer you the role. Do you want me to accept on your behalf? And I said, oh my God, I told him to take a decision. He did not. Sorry, go and decline on my behalf. I will not be accepting it because I have 2 other ones that I'm looking to take a decision on now. And these ones are within the financial services. I've been within the financial services. I don't want to step out. So I'm not going to that organization. And he said, oh, that's a shame. Okay. And then he went to tell the manager. So I've been in that situation. When you're so sure of what you're doing, the confidence will be there and you'll constantly deliver everywhere you go.
Sure. That's so awesome. That's so mind blowing. You are the one calling the shot. And that's the reason you don't get to a place and become comfortable and just think, oh, this is life. But, start counting the number of days you want to live. That was what happened to me at my earlier career as a salesperson. I was working as a salesperson. I was never looking for a job. People were always poaching me. And the reason they were poaching me, I never read marketing or sales coming back up, but I grew up to sell. My mom was selling an Alade. So my mother had a restaurant, she had a beer, she was a beer distributor. So of course I have been exposed to that life. To me, I was like, it was a tough life. When your friends are watching cartoon at home, you are in the shop with your mom, running around to help her manage a business. So that was like a passion, and I grew up selling. Such that when I got out of university, as a science person, I did biochemistry. My daddy wanted me to be a doctor. I wanted to be like a civil engineer because I love being on the field. But those days when your parents say, no, I want you to be a doctor, lawyer.
Yeah.
You just accept it and not like these days, your children will tell you, mommy, no. You get? I just went cheapest civil engineering and put medicine. When I did JAM like twice and I wasn't getting in for medicine, I just told my father I'm okay with biochemistry. They said if I do well, they will move me to medicine. You know all those things they tell you? They lie. It never happens. They will tell you when you become very good in biochemistry and you have a very good GPA, they will be able to switch you to medicine. And a lot of times, those departments don't want to release you as their best students.
Yeah, of course.
So you get stuck with that course. I was glad I never read medicine because I probably would have enjoyed it because I love variety. I love being out and there. I don't want to sit down in one place for 20 years, giving prescription and, and that's all. But it got to a time I was even scared of myself because my CV every 2 years or every 6 months or 1.5 years, I'm changing jobs. I'd moved to like close to 8 jobs. Some even if I didn't stay so long, I don't even mention them again because I don't want it to put fear in the heart of the recruiters because they see that you change too often. They are scared that means if we offer you something good, as soon as you get in, you might leave us when you have a better offer. So beyond just even changing job, you must also be able to let the people trust you. At least minimum of 18 months, 2 years. Stay with them. Not 6 months, 3 months. It will spoil your CV. That actually affected me. Got a time I got to an interview. The first thing they asked me, why are you changing job? You can't say now it's because of money because I was having the money as a salesperson because very few people want to do sales because when you don't meet the numbers, you're asked to go. It's a hard role because you're asked to go because the numbers are not counting the numbers are not showing. So it's like, what are you doing? And we're paying you. So you've got to leave. So I did that, and those roles I was never reporting them because it was not good for my CV. So, like what you're saying now that you have moved, and it showed that you had some kind of grip on where you were. You stayed for a while. They really had
Yep.
they felt you. They
Yep.
experienced what you can do. They can see your end, such that even if when later on you're no longer and you become a recruiter, you can always refer people to them because they will know that the kind of stuff you're made of, you're different.
Yep.
Whatever you said is good because they've tested you. They said they tested you. They can tell that you're good in this area, and so I appreciate that all you said about your career, but beyond the career, I know that things you do by the side.
Yep.
How have you been able to manage all that, and you're still doing them? And one thing I always would think, would tell people, I said, beyond working 9 to 5, you should also have your business. Do you have a
Yep.
business of yours, sir?
Yes, but before I move into that, actually, let me talk about this one, which probably may also be, useful for our audience or to our audience. When I got to the peak of my career within the top financial service organizations in the UK, and I said to myself, I don't think I'm fulfilled. I like to challenge myself as I conquer a set of need. I want another need will arise for me. I continue to set those, steps, and I keep attaining them. Once I attain this, I set another higher one. So I said to myself that okay, I do not intend to work forever. And this knowledge should not die with me. How much can I impact other people as well? And I sat down and said, okay, I'm going to start a project management training and I'll start training our people. And do you know what? I found out that one of the most difficult challenges that a number of people that migrate from different part of the world, probably Africa to Europe or America, one of the major challenges they face is to choose a career choice of discipline and to be able to get information on how to navigate that path successfully. And I said to myself, I will continue to help as many people. One, I started that training. I said, all the people that are coming from Nigeria, especially, you don't have to come in as a man anymore to come and do security job in the UK, especially when you're a university graduate from Nigeria. I will give you the right information. I will help you. I will teach you. I will coach you. I will mentor you. And I will handhold you where possible so that you can launch your career in the UK. And I started training people. And do you know what? There was this lady that took my training on Zoom. It's an online training. My people take it from Canada, from America, from Nigeria. And she took it from Nigeria. And she took it at the December, I think it was 2022. And then she came into the UK in January. By March, she was working in the bank in the UK.
Ah,
And all her friends were asking, how did you do that? This is not possible. This is not possible. And then the husband, who is a medical doctor in the UK, called me and said, thank you so much. She's earning more than me. And we are planning to use her money to buy a house now, because now she's been working and she's earning a lot of money every day. And she was a contractor initial 6 months, and now 2 years, 2.5 years, she's still in the same bank earning that money. She called me. She said they said she's not going nowhere. So this is one of many people that God has used me for, to liberate them to come into the UK to get a good job straight away. Gone are the days that we do not have people ahead of us who paved way for us. But
yeah.
now that we are here, we are paving ways for others that are coming in. So it's worth pointing out that one. So
No, that's awesome. That's a great one. It's like having to help others come in so they don't have to. And that's why I tell people experience cannot be bought.
yeah,
Experience is an asset. And when you use the experience rightly, you're able to touch more lives. So people have good experience, but they're never using it. They're probably using it only for themselves and their family members. But you've gone beyond using it for yourself and your family members. You're extending it to all the shores of the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really mind blowing. I have a lot of people who probably would need that skill, even if it's at a cost. But I would
Yeah.
let you know, the
Yeah.
PMO, so that I just tell teenagers to, rather than just be on your phone and being on YouTube, social media, you can use your time wisely. You can start working on any good figure, making
Yeah.
good money. You don't have to, wait for mom and dad to do everything. You can be at home and be working, remote jobs. And a lot of people too who leave. Some people are in London already, some people are in UK, but they're still doing odd jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure maybe because they've not come across your program,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I always tell people, I said the reason why we need others or why we need mentors, because they've been ahead of us. And
Yeah.
we do not need to repeat the same pitfalls that they fell into. You have been a security man.
Yeah.
I don't have to become a security man because
Yeah.
Kunle is in London, Kunle is in UK. I
Yeah.
can leverage on Kunle, climb on his shoulder and fly high.
Yeah.
So I tell people, I said, you need people ahead of you. So if you don't have anyone you're looking up to, you don't have anyone that is inspiring you, check your life again.
Yeah.
Some I tell them, I said, you might have mentors in the book, maybe mentors from the books you read. You might have physical mentors all around you, but you must have someone you're looking up to, something you're aspiring to, and also reaching out to helping others. Like what you're doing right now, you never know where this will take you to. You
Yeah.
understand? It's a very good one, sir. I appreciate what you're doing, and God, it's only God and eternity that will reward you. There's no amount of money.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Thank you. So going into other things, yes, I don't see myself working forever. I was saying to someone yesterday, I'm hoping that I will become the president of Nigeria. Definitely.
I can't wait. Me, I'm your number one. I'll start promoting you. If you have someone like you, you're already not a president, you're already giving people food at home, you're already touching lives. No, this is the kind of person we want. Let's start priming you.
Yeah. So one major thing about me, before I came to the UK at all, I have asked God that God, one thing I ask of you is I want to be a philanthropist in my life. There's no how much can you eat? How much can you take home? How much cash do you need in your bank account? When others are in need. For me, what I define as being successful is not the amount of cars I drive. I've got cars, I've got Range Rover, I've got houses. Those are not what defines me.
Not at
They are
all.
not the amount of cars or house I bought, but the amount of lives that I have touched positively.
That is true.
For me, that is what I term as being successful. And this propelled me to say, okay, I will be supporting all the celebrities. I met Joe Praise. Joe Praise was the first one who came into the country. I'll pick him from the airport. We're so close. I hope you know Joe Praise.
My husband, the wife was my husband's colleague
Okay.
at ITV.
Joanna or something.
Yes, so,
Yeah.
but pretty small word. We've been trying to reach her. She doesn't have a contact, so it'll be a good one for me to be able to talk to her. So every time he sings, I love his praise because whenever he gets on stage, the vibrancy of his music
Yeah.
will put you dancing. So
Yeah.
one day I told my husband, "Say, don't you have our number? Can't you find out?" My husband is this extremely very quiet person.
Thank you.
He's not bothered. So I told him, I said, "Don't worry. Now you've spoken about Joe Priest. That's a very good one, sir. And you're even, that's a great one."
So I spoke to him today. He's, well, I do call him my first love because after him, I met so many celebrities. I'll take him, we go to concerts, go for rehearsals in London, pick him from the airport, straight to rehearsal. Pastor Chris is coming to the UK and things like that. It's over 10 years now. And from there, met Sinach. Sinach was number one gospel artist. And then from there, Hada, Samuel Poso, Charlie Boy, Paul played Dairo, Davido, and at some point it was Jim Hike. It was a lot of them like that. And I was getting to meet every one of them. And then I was close to them, but during COVID, I now started the K90 channel. It was another story for another time. How God just said, "You must do a video today," and I then yielded to that, and I sent that video out, and the video literally saved a life. A lady in India said the dad was on the verge of suicide. That video that I shot, because I was in the gym and that thing was saying to me, "Shoot a video today."
Oh my
And I
God.
aborted that gym and shut the door. I came to the room. I told my wife something is saying video. My wife looked at me, "You don't even have a YouTube account." That was 2020, and I said, "Okay, I don't know." Go into the shower, and that thing was telling me the name of your channel is K90 channel. I said, "No, this is too. It's not possible." I then aborted that again. I came to the study room where I'm sitting now. I logged on to work 9 o'clock. And I started working. When it was around midday, I got that voice again, shut down now. Now, video. And I said, "What am I going to talk about?" And that thing said, "Tell people what you do." I said, "What do I do?" You wake up in the morning, you go and exercise, you come back to the computer at 9 o'clock. Tell people. And I said, okay. And I went to iron my clothes, and I took my phone, and I took my wife's candle stand, and I laid my phone on it. And I said, "I don't know what this video is for, but something is saying I have to. Can you use this opportunity of COVID? Do not give up. Develop a routine. Number one, wake up in the morning, exercise, take your time to exercise. 2, think about bonding with your family. 3, take a course online. Use this opportunity. 4, develop a skill set. Think about how you can use this opportunity. We've never seen this kind of period before. See the positive in it." And I listed about 7 key things to do. And I sent that video, uploaded on YouTube, and sent to a few friends. And I got the response. Some of my brothers said, "Washiri, God bless you. This is what we need at this time. This is what we need. Wow." And that was how they started sharing the video. And they shared it to an Asian lady who then sent it to her dad in India. The dad was on the verge of suicide. And the dad heard that, and she sent an email to me that, "You have just saved my dad. He was to commit suicide, but now he's learning online because of your video. Thank you so much for saving my dad's life."
Oh my God.
I said, "Oh my God."
Oh my God. This is God.
I still have that
Oh my
that
God.
email. I will never take it for granted.
God.
And that was how K90 channel started.
Oh Jesus. This is God.
After that, so many people say, "What is next? Tell us something." And then I told the entire continent of the world, top 3 most stated countries in COVID. And then after that, I started looking at news in Nigeria. And after that, I said, "Okay, no, I can't keep up with news in Nigeria. So many things are happening. People are sharing it straight away as it's happening. Before I then put the video together, it will have been outdated." And that was how I said, "Okay, I enjoy all the celebrities I've been meeting. I'm going to be interviewing them so that young ones can be learning from them what they have done rightly to be so successful. Let us know." And that's how I started interviewing celebrities on my YouTube
Oh
channel.
my God. But beyond celebrities, I know you talk about tips for interview,
Yes.
immigration tips.
Yes. And then I found out that a lot of people come into the UK blindly. I mean, blindly. I don't blame them, because I was in the same situation. When I got my student visa and I was coming to the UK, all my intention was to come and play football in the UK. I was so serious and passionate about football that I will go for trial. And the first game I played, I scored 7 goals. That evening, the manager was shocking me, you know, Nisha Dret, his name. And he took me to another place to go and play football under a floodlight, Bristol. We go there, I played, I didn't get goals, but I've got a powerful left foot. I was shooting shots. And the manager called me into the office that we would like to sign you. What kind of passport do you have? And I said, I've got a Nigerian passport. I said, okay, what kind of visa? I said, yeah, I've got a student visa. And he said, shit, sorry, pardon my language. I said, I can work. He said, no. He then opened the laptop and showed me the website of the Home Office. As a student, you're not allowed to participate in professional sport in the UK when you're on a student visa. And if you are to participate in a professional sport, you must have played 60% of matches for your country before the club can apply for a work permit for you to start playing football.
Wow.
I did not know that from Nigeria. And hearing that I've never played for Nigeria Super Eagles, that was how I focused on my MBA. And I said, no, no way. I cannot play football. And people back home were expecting to see me on TV that I will be playing for a Premier League
Oh
team.
my God.
So a lot of people don't know these things. And that's how I said, okay, let me educate as many people that are entering this country. Even I took it beyond just this country, but those that are back home before they apply for visa. So I started shooting tips on immigration that before you apply for a visa, think about all the kind of things you want to do. And I gave them my example. Now, I thought student visa will allow me to play football. Eventually, it did not.
Hmm.
And that there is a number of all other visas that you can get. Do you know that there is a visa called Global Talent Visa? That if you are a talent in any part of the world, here in the UK, they will announce you, they will give you a work permit straight away to come in. There is a category of the global talent visa. One is exceptional talent, meaning you have a strong social media presence. You are known globally already. They just want to take your talent into the UK straight away. You get 2.5 years to come and settle first. And then after that, you renew once, maybe another 2.5 years. And that you get permanent stay straight away with your family. And then there is another one called potential global talent visa. Is similar to the exceptional one. But this one, they are saying that you have a talent. It could be in art, it could be in music, it could be in drama, anything. But you have not really been successful so much. But they can see the traits that you are going to definitely be. And they will still give you the visa to come and stay in the UK and develop their career. So many people don't know. There is visa for um, um, minister of religion. A lot of people don't know. There are so many other visa categories that people only apply for: visit visa and student visa. So a lot of people need to be educated. And if only they can research on the website of the Home Office, they will see that there are so many routes that you can take to come into the UK.
Oh, that's a great one. But you know, one thing I know about the UK, I just think that the UK does not give you a permanent stay. After a while, things change. How true is that?
I don't know what you meant by that.
Like, people come in as students, and after a while, they don't get maybe their stay. They become
Mm.
frightened. Is it
Ah,
that they
okay.
are meant to just come and school? Once they're done with
Mm,
schooling, they
mm.
go back home?
I
Or
think
somebody will have to file for them or something?
I think a lot of people are misconstruing it completely. That's not true. I came on a student visa. After me, I had a number of friends that came on a student visa. They've gotten their British passport. I got my British passport in 2010. And now, at some point, I think around 2018, 2019, there were so many pressured on the fact that so many students were coming in and they come with their families. So just to help you to understand, when you are on a student visa in the UK and you have your family, you can bring your family, your children, your husband or wife, but the student will not be allowed to work more than 20 hours a week. However, their dependent, who is their spouse, can work unlimited hours. So, but the student, they want that student to focus. So now in the UK, what they have now introduced is, on completion of your studies, you will be given 2 years post-study visa, which will enable you to stay in the UK to look for a job that will be a permanent job. And then that company that you're working with will be able to sponsor you from there. And once you get the first 2 years post study visa, if you get a new company that can sponsor you for 2.5 years or 3 years, you only need 5 years. You will then be qualified for permanent stay, which is called indefinite leave to remain in the UK.
Wow, that's awesome. I think misinformation, when people don't get the right information and they think, oh, that's a great one and that's a great tip. For those who are probably thinking of coming, like you rightly said, you need to know what you want to come and do. Also need to research the visa. So
Yep.
in knowing what you want to come and do, the visa, you can not start searching out for the visa.
Yep.
Because once you don't know what you want to do, you probably want to come with only a visiting visa. And the visiting visa is temporary. You can't stay. You can't
Yep.
work with a visiting visa. So that means you're expected to stay and go back home.
Exactly. I had people that literally sold properties in Nigeria to get a visit visa to come to the UK, thinking that is the end of the world and that their life has been liberated. I've got a news for such people if they are still thinking in that direction in 2024, that you are not going to be able to stay in the UK. I remember I told you on Tuesday that I first came into the UK as a visitor. That was the period that people were selling their homes in the UK, in Nigeria, to get a UK visit visa to come into the UK. If you are on a visit visa to the UK, you are not expected to stay and work. You cannot do anything. You can only come here to visit, and at the end of your visitation, you return to your country of, origin. But thinking you are coming to stay, then you're going to have a long stay, because once that expires, you're looking at another 15 to 20 years before you can get your stay in the UK.
Oh my God, that's so
Yes,
long.
it's about 15 to 20 years, because there is no longer application in place except you go through a different route, like having a child. Yes, you can use that child. But when you are alone without going through another route, for you to get your citizenship, there is what we called long overstayer, and I think it's 14 to 15 years. And they will say to you they want evidence of all the years that you've been in the UK, like bills in your name, all sort of things you've been doing, and then you can file that in. And remember, that kind of application is not a straightforward application. It takes time for that decision to be made, because they are not expecting you to be in the country in the first instance. So they will take their time to deal with the application. It could take a year, it could take 2 years. And that's why I said between 14 and 20 years. Because we've seen people that filed in after 14 years and they never got anything back until 5, 6 years.
Wow. And that means they're not encouraging it.
No, it's,
They don't
it's,
want
it's
people to
against the law
go
to
through that
become
route.
an illegal immigrant in the UK. It's against the law.
Okay, then. That's a good one. We didn't talk about your passion again, how your passion went into the different things, your foundation. I don't know if I have to bring you again because I know your schedule is really pretty tight. But I don't know if it's something you want to do another time, maybe March, April, to tell us more about it.
Um,
Something you can talk in the next 10 minutes.
yeah, of course, I can quickly scan through that. Yeah, let
Okay.
me quickly scan through. I will always come back. There are many things to talk about, Sandra. Things are happening. So in terms of other things, yeah, I'm gonna try to keep it very short. I took opportunity during COVID. I had a friend around who had about 3 shops next to each other, not far from the house here, and I would go to his shop in one to buy some stuff, and he would say to me, "Oh, he wants to sell the other two," and I said, "Oh my God, okay, what's going on? The two are locked up completely." He said he's looking to sell. The people that wants to buy, they want to do the same thing he's doing, like offline sense. They are Asians in the UK. The people that lives around will know what I mean by that. And then I said, oh my God, before I get an African food where I live, I'm having to travel for about 5 to 6 miles away, before I can get any African food. I go a long way. And I said to my wife, let's take advantage of this. And she said, oh, what do you want? I said, let's start selling African food. I said, oh, okay, I can't do the stress. I said, okay, I will do it. And that was how we bought the two properties from the gentleman. We bought it outrightly cash, no mortgage, nothing. So, and it has a flat upstairs, those two. And then that was how we started BK90 restaurant, and the restaurant was opened by Sinach. she came around. Everything is on YouTube. She came around. It's going to be 1 year on the 18th of March that restaurant opened.
awesome.
so so since then, so many celebrities have been there. They've been eating. They love our food, and we have the best tabbouleh in the entire Europe, according to them.
I will bring you. You tell us how your meals are. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
So what's the name
that's
of the
what. Yeah.
restaurant?
It's BK90 Restaurant. Bravo Kilo
BK90.
90. Yeah, BK90.
K90. The B
Yes,
is your wife or someone's name?
exactly. So my wife is Bola, and we decided to add the B at the beginning of
BK.
K90.
Oh, awesome. Beautiful. I'll go look for it. You have a website or something?
Yeah, if you search to a BK90 restaurant in London, you're gonna see us.
Oh my God. That's my son has been telling me, Mommy, please help me with a flyer. I want to start doing some cuisine because
Ah,
I taught them to cook. Such that whenever I'm in the kitchen, everybody's in the kitchen. You're
mhm.
either cutting, dicing onion, somebody's boiling rice, somebody's doing something. So, I learned that, guys are also supposed to cook too,
Of course.
So my
I
boys
love
cook.
cooking. Yeah,
Like,
it's good.
you remember I told you my boy that plays soccer, that when he wants
Yeah,
to come,
yeah, 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 yeah.
he's here. I think he just sent a message. He said, awesome. Your story has been very awesome. So he cooks. So he was telling me, Mommy, but some people want African food in my school. I said, how would you do it? He said, just give me flyer first. I'll try it and I'll take a sample and show my friends. So once they like it, I can now make and take to school to
Yeah.
show them. I'm not, my daughter will come and say, oh, Mommy, Harmony's kitchen. Harmony's kitchen. And I'm like, okay. Then you can go to cuisine and you can go to this school to learn how to cook, to get a certificate in order for you to be able to open some,
Yeah.
having a good restaurant, healthy restaurant
Yeah.
where you can eat good meals and not just any kind of meal. But your story has been very awesome, from IT, from being a security man to being a PMO, being a director, and now, are you still working? Yes.
Yeah, of
But
course.
banking,
I've had enough. A lot of people say a director of the bank still cooking pounded yam, making a bar in the kitchen.
it doesn't matter.
And the truth is, the end result is I shouldn't be working for too long. I want to put in place a decent business that can pay bills when I'm away. I'm gonna be freelancing. I'm going to Nigeria for good. I'm gonna be doing a lot. Back home, as I said, I want to be the president of Nigeria, and I've
No,
got
you
a
have to
job.
be. You have to. Awesome. It's been a great time having you on this show. I need to let you go because otherwise you'll be here. But I just needed to let you go. Thank you so much. And thank you for your obedience. Your obedience has turned around to be mind blowing, lives being touched. Oh my God. I don't say too much because I have so much to say. It's been mind blowing for me.
Do you have any questions from anyone, Tina?
Let me quickly check because, okay. Someone said, great. Wow. Very interesting. Really an amazing story. Awesome. Misha says, awesome. Emmanuel says, simple obedience to what your spirit told you saved a life. Truly inspiring section, Kunle. Please come again. I told you, I'm sure we're not going to put, a
Yeah,
retainer tip.
there
That
is
once
a
every
lot.
2 months you must be here.
There is a lot to talk about. Just
No,
this
sincerely,
evening,
there is.
just this evening, we saw what is happening in Nigeria. There's hunger in the land. And yesterday, I've been chatting with Cocoon Foundation, very good friend of mine. And he said, what do you want to say? I said, yeah, I'm bringing you on Kennedy channel, but I also want to partner with you to give out food to widows in Nigeria. I said, my brother, this is the time to do it. We have to do it today. And that was yesterday, Thursday. I said, what do you mean? Let's do it straight away. And he said, send your flyer, send your logo, send your this. And before I knew it, he's got his team. They just sent digital stuff they put my name on a box that this is from Big Kunle Ologun Foundation donating to widows in partnership with Cocoon Foundation. And before I knew it, I said, okay,
You
let's
said
go.
Dokun?
Cocoon,
Cocoon.
Kokeun. If you check
Oh,
my Instagram, you will see all of that.
okay.
All that was 8 food items were boxed. Rice, semolina, salt, sugar, and all that, enough to feed family of 5 to 6. And each of those, he told me it cost 19,500 naira. I said, that's not a problem. Can we get up to 50 first and just get it 1 million naira or something? But say, hey, we can do that. Let's start with that. And that was how they got 50 bucks. And today they informed the ladies, all the widows. If you see the video on my Instagram page, they were running, scrambling to get into the compound where all the boxes were, and where they were saying the boxes, they were just handing all the boxes to all these widows, one after the other. There was one that touched me, and there was this man that was walking with stick. Probably he's a blind man, and you can see he's struggling with his stick, with his glasses on, and he's just coming and all that. So for me, all these, they are things that makes my day. They are things that makes me happy, because those families will go away this weekend. They will have food to eat at home. At least it's going to feed them for the next 1 week, and we'll be looking to do more. There will be a lot of that
I'm
coming up.
interested in collaborating, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we will. I've been
because-
doing that for a long time, because I've been hosting football competition in Nigeria, Kunle Ologun Foundation, with my banner in Festac Mile 2 side. Every year, I give back to the community. These are the things that makes
And
me
that's why I
happy.
tell people, I said life is not lived until you are living in others. To me, when I had an interview like 2 days ago, when the lady asked me, I said, what's success? I said, success is variable. It is different for different people. Success for me is when I'm able to impact someone. When someone can say, oh, you put smiles on my face. And we've gone beyond just being successful, having a lot of money, but giving back to the community. So I said, enough of all the prayers we've been praying. Yes, we need to pray and keep praying. But beyond just praying, we need to start taking actions. We need to start giving out things to people. People need food, people need clothing, people need a lot in Nigeria. So at this time, it's not a time to just, shut your doors or shut your phones or shut what is going on social media. But this is a time, if you have someone, a trusted friend you can send money to, please let's, be a blessing to those who are struggling. I watched a video, I was crying, where they were beating people because of bread.
Yeah.
And I told myself, because of bread. And they are beating them and they are still on the queue.
Yam, bread. I follow all of those, and it's really sad.
Really sad. We've never been like that in that country. This is the first time. It's like we've been taking like 20, 30 years backward. But I know God in his infinite mercy would lift Nigeria again.
Amen.
God will do that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone. I want to thank our viewers. Thank you for being on this show. I know with Kunle, we will be here. It's not our norm to be here for 1 hour. But with Kunle, he has a lot to say. And I told him there's going to be a retainership. We're going to sign him on. He's going to be coming every 2 months or every quarter, because he has a lot he wants. He has a lot, training for those who are just, about leaving Nigeria to go to other countries. PMOs, there's training foundation for soccer player. If you have someone who is good soccer player that is looking for a club, Kunle has a foundation that takes care of that. If you're looking for so many other things before you leave your country, the other visas and tips on immigration, interviews, if you're in the UK already and you need help, even in the US too, there are tips you can get. It's a global village now, so everyone, you can learn from him and everything like that. So many other things we're going to be doing together. I want to thank you. Life is gone beyond you being the showpiece. But beyond that, we're supposed to collaborate, synergize together, leverage on other people's strengths, and you'll find out that you'll go farther than you know. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, our viewers. And I would have to say good evening and good night. Do have a restful night, because if I continue talking, we will not leave here today.
Thank you so much. I'm playing
Kunle.
football. I'm playing football in the morning.
In the morning, okay. And I also want to say thank you to your wife, Bola. Extend my greetings to her.
I will.
You were meant to be on bed now, but you're taking our time with the family. You're taking our time with us. My regards to her. I'll get to her someday. Thank you so much. My love to the family.
Thanks a lot. Take care. You too. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you.